Ronaldinho is a legendary figure in Brazilian football, and his net worth of $90 million is very amazing. Even when he was alive, this number was a big deal compared to what it is now. Ronaldinho is worth $90 million because he is a good football player. But I'd like to stop you right there. Not everyone has what it takes to do as well as the Brazilian did. Being a football player is one thing, but being a real artist like Ronaldinho is something else entirely. Because of this, many of the best teams at the time wanted him to play for them. The teams of Paris Saint-Germain, Barcelona, and AC Milan are lucky to have him play for them. How much is Ronaldinho worth? The Legend Story. Ronaldinho Gaucho is a professional football player who was born Ronaldo de Assis Moreira on March 21, 1980 in Porto Alegre, Brazil. He is also better known by his nickname. The Brazilian, who was also called the King, was born to Miguelina Eloy Assis de Santos, a former salesperson and nurse, and João de Assis Moreira, a dock worker. His mother worked as a nurse, and his father was a shipbuilder. João was a good football player for the Esporte Club Cruzeiro team. When Ronaldinho's brother Roberto got a contract with Grêmio, the same thing happened to Ronaldinho's family. So, they had to move to a better area. There's no doubt that playing football was in the family's blood. Grêmio decided in 1988 to hire the player who would become a star to play attacking middle for the team. He was always the youngest player on the pitch, so people started calling him Inho, which means small. Ronaldinho started out loving football and beach football, which led to him becoming more interested in regular football. The Brazilian, who was 5 feet 11 inches or 1.81 meters tall, was better at both technical and artistic skills than his peers. Fans still remember the Brazilian midfielder for his amazing speed, dribbling style, agility, no-look passes, accurate free kicks, feints, and quick skill plays. Things that Ronaldinho owns that cost more than your whole life. Now that we're done with that, let's talk about what Ronaldinho has going for him. Starting with a beautiful home in Barcelona, the Brazilian superstar bought the whole complex for a reasonable £1.66 million. The house has its own private pool and comfortable seating area. From that specific home, you can see the ocean. The famous athlete, who has since retired, also owns a beautiful home in Rio de Janeiro, where he was born, as well as several other homes in Curitiba, each with a home theater and a large swimming pool. But there is no information available about how much the house costs. The forward, who has since retired, is also very proud to own a Lamborghini Aventador. He paid $550,000 for the black and yellow car. Ronaldinho, on the other hand, bought a Porsche to go with his Lamborghini. The market price of the reddish-yellow Porsche Carrera S was only $113,000, which is not a lot of money for someone like Ronaldinho. The Catalan winger is also a big fan of sports cars, so he went out and bought a yellow Ferrari 458S for the crazy price of $345,000. Because of this, Ronaldinho bought a white Audi R8 in his later years for only $169,000. It looks like the renowned garage is just as famous as he is, don't you think? But this is not where the story ends. His list of cars he collects is long and never-ending. In addition to these things, the retired star owns a Mercedes-Benz E-Class 2013 model that cost $54,000, an Audi Q7 that costs $46,800, and a Bugatti Veyron that cost $1.8 million. Last but not least, Ronaldinho's most valuable possession is his Hummer H2, which he bought for $53,000. What does Ronaldinho do as part of his charity work? Ronaldinho has been working for UNICEF, which is also known as the United Nations Children's Fund, in an official role since February 2006. He also shows up often at Soccer Aid, an event that raises money for the group we just talked about. In 2011, the Brazilian government worked with a joint United Nations program on HIV/AIDS to teach young people more about the HIV/AIDS crisis. A game called Match for Solidarity was played on the shores of Lake Geneva. This game was played in the name of peace, human rights, and well-being. and Luis Figo, a star of Portugal's national team, and Ronaldinho both played. Ronaldinho made money from football, investments, and endorsements. Ronaldinho has made a big difference in the great history of football in Brazil, and that can't be taken away. To be honest, he is the best thing that has ever happened to Brazil. Only Pelé, Ronaldo, and Dinho have a chance of ever sitting on the beautiful throne together. We don't remember him so much for the goals he scored as much as for the amazing skills we saw him show in the league. Some people would find it hard to believe if they saw it on TV, while others might think it was set up or planned. Dear readers, I'm sorry to upset you, but it's not true. What you saw in person or on TV did not just happen by accident. Men are born with a natural desire to play football and love for the game. You were able to see football at its most natural. Fans of PSG, Barcelona, and AC Milan should feel very lucky that he played for their teams. Ronaldinho made an incredible $90 million over the course of his 35-year career, which he spent at these teams. Paris Saint-Germain came to him while he was still playing for Grêmio and offered him €5 million to join them. After a great 3 years with his former team, the Spanish powerhouse Barcelona came calling and paid a then-record €32.25 million to get him. When he played for Barcelona, the Brazilian winger and midfielder did so well that he embarrassed their foes Real Madrid on multiple occasions at Santiago Bernabéu. After 5 great seasons with the Spaniards, AC Milan paid €24.15 million to get his services. In the years before he retired, Ronaldinho signed a $3 million deal to play football for Flamengo in Brazil's top league. At this point, the market price for wingers had dropped to €27.5 million. After a short time in Querétaro, the Brazilian went on to Fluminense, where he spent the rest of his career. Even after he stopped, the King still made a lot of money through endorsements and other marketing efforts. For instance, here is a list of all the money he has made from advertising and his career. Transfer $5.96 million, Grêmio to PSG in 2001. In 2003, Paris Saint-Germain sold a player to Barcelona for $37.71 million. Pepsi, Coca-Cola, EA Sports, Gatorade, and Danone gave him endorsements worth $19 million in 2006. His pay from Barcelona in 2007, $31 million. AC Milan transfer, $29.23 million. Contract, $23.81 million. Annual salary, $7.7 million, and bonus, $1.1 million in 2008. Total earnings and other were $11.4 million and $17.8 million in 2009. $3.51 million was paid to move him from AC Milan to Club de Regatas de Flamengo in 2011. Other endorsements of $548,000 in 2013. AC Milan bonus and salary $25 million in 2010. And endorsements was $548,000 in 2013. AC Milan Fluminense, Rio de Janeiro club, $190,000 in 2015. An investor from Italy named Fabio Cordella and Ronaldinho also worked together to start a new company. The two business partners started the Wine of Champions brand, which led to the creation of 11 different drinks with their own names. Famous football stars were thought of when these drinks were made. In the same way, the famous player is the face of EA Sports, and he still works with the company to this day. Because of this, the Porto Alegre local was featured in a number of ads and the FIFA game series. The former Barcelona star also decided to improve his net worth by working with other businesses. With that, he gave his stamp of approval to the makers of energy drinks, cell phones, fidget spinners, and condoms, among other things. Thank you so much for watching this video.